favorite Egyptian composers. The composers I always go back to choreograph, to improvise, to get inspired. The composers that have changed me and made me a better dancer, and I would dare say a better person. That's the theme of this video, another video inspired by dancers from all over the world. And before I deliver the goodies, let me introduce myself and our channel. My name is Joana Saahirah. I'm a world-renowned Oriental dancer, teacher, choreographer, and author, and I'm also the creator of the pioneering Joana Saahirah's World and Joana Saahirah's online dance school, delivering authentic Egyptian dance, ayurveda, personal discovery, and empowerment. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, this is the moment when you do so. Click on subscribe and don't forget to turn the notifications bell button on so that you know every time I have new goodies coming into this channel. Last but not least, join our free and fabulous newsletter, Joana Saahirah's World newsletter, if you want to become the first to receive our news, gifts, and inspirations, and if you want to get right ahead a free ebook that I wrote for you with all my love called Welcome to Egyptian Dance Wonderland. You will find the link to join our free and fabulous newsletter in the description box below this video. Now that we got that out of the way, let's dive into my 3 favorite Egyptian composers. Now, before I tell you the names of these amazing men, these amazing creators, let me tell you something. When I work with dancers, I usually see a focus on the singers who sing the songs we dance to. But I want to propose something else. Instead of just focusing on the singers, consider who wrote these songs, who wrote these musical pieces, who was the composer behind this piece that I love so much. Because without great composers, we don't have great music. A singer is an interpreter, and it is important, of course, but even a great singer cannot shine if the composition he or she is singing is not great. So it all starts with the person behind the curtains, the composer, that invisible person that makes the music shine or not. So, as dancers, let's start to value the composers, not only the singers. Now, there are so many composers that I love within the spectrum of Egyptian music, and I mean many. I chose 3, my obvious 3 choices. My first name is, I think, quite predictable, and that is Mohammed Abdul Wahab. Yes, Mohammed Abdul Wahab. Mohammed Abdul Wahab was also a singer and an actor, although not a very good actor if you ask me, but his forte was composition. He was what is considered the genius of modern Egyptian music for good reason. He worked with the biggest singers of his time, including Kulthum, and he also worked for dancers. He composed specifically for dancers, and he did so beautifully. Why do I love Mohammed Abdul Wahab? First of all, because I consider him a creative genius. Nobody produced as much as him and so beautifully and so out of the box as he did. The second reason why I love him is because he managed to bring Western influences into Egyptian music in a very efficient, beautiful way. You see his music as modern Egyptian music, a transition musical style, but you still feel that it is so quintessentially Oriental. It is still very Egyptian, and that is an achievement of a genius and an achievement of someone who knew very well what it meant to be Egyptian and how the Egyptian sensibility looked, sounded, and felt like. So when I dance to Abdul Wahab, I know I am going to dance at the top music, and I know that I'm going to deal with a music that is classical, it is deeply traditionally Egyptian, but at the same time very modern and very open to the world. The second composer that is on my top list is less known and less predictable, nonetheless super precious, and this is Ali Ismail. Yes, I met the music of Ali Ismail through my work and study and friendship with the master of all masters, the father of Egyptian folklore, Mahmoud Reda. I did not know Ali Ismail. I was already performing in Egypt and working with the composers that Oriental dancers usually work with, and I was introduced to the work of Ali Ismail and everything he composed, mostly for the Reda troupe, through Mahmoud Reda. He made me sit down and listen to Ali Ismail pieces that he had composed specifically for the Reda troupe and also for other contexts. Why do I love Ali Ismail? Then again, we're talking about a musical genius, make no mistake. Second reason, because he knew dancers and he knew what was appetizing, what was delicious, what could make a dancer shine. Sometimes you have a composer who is brilliant, but they're not really interested in dance, they're not composing for dance, and they couldn't care less about dance and dancers. Ali Ismail knew dancers, he loved dancers, and he composed for dancers to serve the dance, to serve the art of the dance. And this is the other reason why I love him so damn much. And of course, having Mahmoud Reda love him as well and showing me his value, his artistry, is also something that made me respect and cherish this composer. The third and last composer that I'm going to share with you is Baligh Hamdi. Yes, very well known, a composer who worked with Kulthum as well and with Warda, with whom he was married for a while. And then again, we're talking about a composer that I consider a genius, another musical genius, but very classical. Unlike Muhammad Abdul Wahab, who was clearly westernized and the lover of Western music, Baligh Hamdi was modern. He introduced some innovations in his music, but he was more classical. He was closer to the roots. He was less open to the Western world, and that made him even more Oriental, even more Egyptian, and very emotional. The other reason why I love Baligh Hamdi creations, it's because he had a very good sense of contrast, something that is amazing for dancers. What do I mean by contrast? Baligh Hamdi knew very well how to create pieces that were dynamic, exciting, surprising, full of details, full of changes of rhythms, changes of moods, changing of emotion, changing of levels and speeds and colors. He was very colorful. He knew how to make a show out of his music. Independently of composing for singers or for dancers, he knew how to make a musical piece interesting, appetizing for the audience, and that is something that makes the job of a dancer so much easier. These are my top 3 Egyptian composers. As I mentioned, there are many more. If you're interested in this world, the world of Egyptian music and dance, I will invite you to join our webinar with George Sawa on Egyptian music and musicality. You're either going to join us live, find the link to save your spot in the description box below this video, or you'll be able to watch the replay. Either way, the link is right there. Last but not least, I'm going to invite you once more to subscribe to our newsletter. Find the link also in that beautiful box below the video, and do not forget to follow our channel. I love you so much, and I cannot wait to see you at one of our events in Joana Saahirah's World or at Joana Saahirah's Online Dance School. All the information about our work is, yes, you guessed it, right there. Yeah. See you soon. If you enjoyed this video, offer it a like and let me know in the comments to this video what are your favorite Egyptian composers and singers. I want to know all about it in the comments, okay? See you soon. Until then, big kiss. Mwah.